Hey everyone, it's DatMat, not a GameCube buyer. It's my hobby, my title, my occupation, my personality, my sexual orientation. I don't have a GameCube. Never owned one, didn't grow up with one. So I decided that I'm going to give an outsider's perspective of the GameCube as a whole. The Nintendo GameCube released in North America on September 18th, 2001. As if we didn't have enough national catastrophes that month. Oh no! Not the GameCube! The GameCube released with a launch lineup of... But how did it compare to the competition's launch lineup?
Cracking the case in 30 seconds.
Holy shit, I need to buy a GameCube! So, no Mario game at launch. Every Nintendo system up to this point launched with a brand new Super Mario game. But this time we get Luigi's Mansion? Now, Luigi's Mansion is a good game, but come on, let's be real here. You can't argue it has as much mainstream appeal as the Super Mario games do. How about the controllers? PlayStation 2 launched with the same tried and true DualShock controller with no real changes from the original PlayStation. The Xbox, on the other hand, launched with this behemoth. As silly as it looks, it's actually quite comfortable and enjoyable to use, though the S controller was definitely much better. The Dreamcast launched with a controller, and the GameCube... The GameCube's controller was weird. Not great, not terrible. It excels in some genres of games, but in others it's way out of its element. Like, how am I supposed to aim with a skin tag? Where do I even start with this controller? First off, the face buttons. You got B, Y, and X orbiting the A button for some reason, with X and Y being the weirdest shapes I have ever seen. Then you got these really weird triggers. You got a D-pad made for literal infants. It's practically unusable. Non-clickable sticks, with one being a fucking nipple. And then you got one bumper, and it's a shitty one too. While I like the uniqueness of the GameCube controller's design and its very comfy form factor, it's just missing too many things for me to really love it. Now, how about the game discs? The PS2 used both CD-ROMs and DVD-ROMs. The Xbox used just DVD-ROMs, and the Dreamcast used GD-ROMs, which were their own proprietary discs that were basically souped-up CD-ROMs. The GameCube... Here's one area where Nintendo's creativity was not welcome. While looking neat, the GameCube's mini DVDs could only hold 1.46 gigabytes of data. Now, to be fair, it was more than the Dreamcast GD-ROMs, but that came out in 1999, 2 years before. Not to mention, the PlayStation 2 and Xbox, which launched the same year, used full-size DVD-ROMs, which could store leagues more data, meaning some multi-platform games that came out for the PlayStation and Xbox just couldn't fit on a GameCube disc. But that being said, the GameCube actually did get some pretty good third-party support, especially compared to the coming console generations and onward when Nintendo decided to go off and do their own stupid fucking thing. A good amount of multi-platform games did come to the GameCube, and most did look noticeably better when compared side by side with the PlayStation 2, until you compare it to the Xbox and start questioning your life choices. How about first-party games? The GameCube had a pretty great first-party lineup, honestly. 2 Metroid games, F-Zero GX, 2 Legend of Zelda games, 2 Pikmin games, Super Smash Bros. Melee, 4 Mario Party games, Mario Kart Double Dash, a buttload of Mario sports games, Kirby Air Ride, Star Fox Domestic Battery, and almost every Nintendo franchise you could think of got an entry on here. And some new franchises were born here. And almost all of them were fantastic. Almost. Now back to present day. The GameCube was a fantastic system with tons of great games. So why will I not buy a GameCube? Well, I'll answer that question with another. Answer me this in French. Will I never find purpose in life?
Oui.
The Nintendo Wii, not only can it play Wii games, but it's fully backwards compatible with all GameCube titles. And it has the Virtual Console games, which go all the way back from every single home generation of Nintendo consoles up to that point. You got N64, you got SNES and NES. Basically, all the biggest titles from those systems were on here. It's smaller, sleeker, and it's much cheaper nowadays than a decent condition GameCube. But Matt, you say, what about the Game Boy Player? The Wii can't use the Game Boy Player. What about the Game Boy Player? What about it? This is a real gun, by the way. Like, I could just... So yeah, the Wii can't use the Game Boy Player. It's the only thing the GameCube still has exclusive to it besides the stupid fucking handle. But you can just do this. Just play it on a Game Boy.